Today we are going to discuss about we have to create a pipeline. Okay, if we have the Excel sheet. In the Excel sheet, we have the different sheets like this: employees, department, location, countries, and all. Okay, for these different sheets, we need to build a pipeline in such a way that these different sheets, will have to create a different tables. I will show you the demo. This is the pipeline what we are going to create for now. At the end, it is going to create tables like this: DBO employee, DBO location, okay, and DBO department, countries, and all. Okay, like that, dynamically, we are going to build a pipeline. That pipeline is going to read the data from all the sheets and create a table for the each and every sheets. Okay, this is a very not that much of a difficult pipeline. It's very easy pipeline. Okay, I will show how to do. The concept is simple. Excel sheets to tables in Azure SQL. Okay. We are going to create this pipeline entirely as dynamically. Okay, not manually. We are going to create a pipeline dynamically. So we are going to follow these steps to execute this pipeline. Number one is look up for the pick table, and for each activity to look through the each and every element in the lookup, and then copy activity. So previous videos like full load and incremental load in our channel, we created a framework, nothing but a configuration file, so that we make our pipeline as a dynamical. So in real world also we will follow the same process. So that what will going to happen means it will make it flexible to our pipeline. We can add anytime, we can update at any time, we can delete at any time. Okay, according to our requirements. Here also we'll follow the same procedure. We'll create one configuration file in Azure SQL. Then we will use the lookup activity and then for each and then copy data activity. Okay. The first step is create config table. Azure SQL. So we are going to create now here. Okay. Create Excel config. Okay. Here I am considering 2 columns only. Either you can consider a number of columns, like sheet name is the most important one. Where maximum, and then table name where maximum. Okay, sheet names, we are going to mention the name of the sheet like employees, department, location, countries. And the table name, this is the target tables. Okay, I did not created any table in Azure SQL before. Entirely it is created automatically by the pipeline. Okay, make a note this point. Okay, I did not created any tables before in the Azure SQL. Entirely it is going to create by the pipeline dynamically. So here you need to pass the table names. Like anything you can pass it, okay? Not an issue. This is the basic configuration file. You can make much more complex of this configuration file, like includes source file name, okay, where maximum. It is going to say the file name dot xlx, okay, and you can also pass the source container, from which container you are taking the source. Then it would be like you can mention anything like input or raw zone, like this you can mention. Okay, so we'll create this configuration file. Once after creating the configuration file, We'll insert some of the values into this file, into this table. Okay, sorry, Excel config values. So we have the employee sheet, as you can see below. Sorry, I did not share the screen. Okay, like this we need to follow. I will repeat these steps again. So Excel sheets to tables in Azure SQL. Dynamically, we are going to create. Okay, this is the activity flow. What we are going to use the lookup for the configuration for each copy data activity. Then we will create a configuration table in Azure SQL like this. Once after creating the configuration file, we have to pass the values. Employees, this is the employees is nothing but the employees. This is the sheet name I am going to mention. Next, departments, like that. Employees, and I am going to put it in a table EMP. Okay. Similarly, next sheet name. What would be the next sheet name? Departments. Table DPT. Okay. Similarly, what is the next sheet? Presented. Location. Table location. What's the sheet name next? Countries. Table. Okay. Like this, we need to create the configuration table and pass the values. We'll do the same thing here. Create table. Okay. Yeah, successfully created. Now insert the values into the table. Write a select query to check either inserted or not. Click store from. So table name Excel config. Yeah, now fine. Now I am assuming that Excel file is in the Gen 2. Okay, this is the Excel file I am considering it is in the Gen 2 in an input container. Okay, we'll create a new pipeline. Before creating a new, okay, no problem. We'll create a new data sets. Okay, one is for the configuration table in Azure SQL, another one for is the source. Okay, for the Excel file. Take the Azure SQL, SQL database. Consider as config Excel take service. Select the table name Excel config. Okay, fine. Now create another data set for the Excel file which is presented in the Gen 2. Okay, Excel sheet. There should be SRC Excel. Okay. Select the folder and the container where our data is presented. This sheet name we are going to take it from the configuration file and pass the value. Okay. Click on OK. Right. Go to the parameters. Click on parameters. We'll create a parameter called as sheet name. Add a dynamic content. Select this parameter. Click on OK. Publish it. Now we'll create a pipeline. Okay, I will delete all this. Okay. According to our flow, we will take the lookup activity, and in the source data set, we will select the configuration file, config Excel. Okay, config Excel. Uncheck this box. Go to query. Always prefer to write a query. So we all are familiar with the SQL, right? So it's a simple SQL statement. Select. Okay. Publish it. Next, take the for each activity to iterate in the loop. Sorry, from the lookup. Go to settings. If you select the sequential, what will happen means once after employees table creation successfully done, then it will create department, then after location, then after countries, then after so on. Okay. So if you uncheck this box, entire these sheets, Excel, sorry, employees, department, location, countries. Okay. At a time, they will going to create a tables. So select the lookup one value dot array, output dot value. Okay. If you select only first row, sorry, if you select only first row, we will get only the sheet name, first sheet name. According to our file, it is the employees. Okay, I need all. That's why I uncheck this box. Inside the for each activity, let's put the wait activity and debug the pipeline. And we are making ensure that either the pipeline is running successfully or not. So far, so good. Okay. Debug it. Yeah, successfully done. Now remove this wait activity. Take the copy data activity. Okay, go to source. Now the question will rise. Which one I need to select the source? Either I should select the config Excel as a source or anything else. So previously in a full load and incremental load, what we uploaded, okay, over the last month, there we selected in the copy data activity, we select the source as the configuration table only. Why? Because we consider there Azure SQL is the source and Azure SQL is the target also. But here we are considering the file in the Gen2, which is not in the area of the Azure SQL. So there is, if you use this configuration Excel file, okay, if you use this data set config Excel, then we will encounter the error saying that object name is not valid. Means it is saying whatever this configuration value you mentioned employees, it is not there in the Azure SQL. Department is not there in the Azure SQL. Okay. So select the source data set, which is going to represent the Excel file. Okay. I think previously we selected, right? SRC Excel. Okay, where is that? SRC Excel. Okay, and here we'll pass the sheet name. Okay, where we'll get from the for each activity that sheet name. Item dot. What is the value we passed here? Sheet name. Okay, copy this. Click on OK. Okay, now everything is good. Go to sync. So if you want, you can create a new data set for the sync. Select Azure SQL, Excel dump, Excel dump 2, Excel dump 2, link service, Azure SQL database. Table name. See, I did not create any tables in Azure SQL. Now click on none. Okay. So again, once you created a data set, click on open. Go to parameters. We'll pass the parameter as a table name. Okay. Go to connection. Click on edit. Here you need to pass the table name. Dataset.table. Come back to the pipeline. Here also you need to pass the value table name. Okay, we are getting from the for each activity item dot table name. Okay, item dot table name. So this one item dot table name. Click on OK. Now I did, like I mentioned, I did not created any tables previously in Azure SQL. Okay, dynamically my pipeline is going to create those tables according to the sheets. Okay, so that I have to click on auto create table. Okay, make ensure this is the important where all of the people make the mistakes at the starting stage. Okay, if you click on auto create table, it will create, our pipeline will create automatically those tables. Okay, publish. Yeah, good. Now debug this pipeline. Refresh it once again. Yeah, some of the tables are created. Okay, we'll check it out now. Okay, table department, table countries has been created successfully. Let's check with the query. Select start from table EMP. Okay. Run this query. Yeah. Employee table has been created. Similarly, you can cross check with the remaining table. Select start from DBO table department. Department table also created successfully. So this is not a big deal. This is very a simple question. Most of the time we'll ask at the time of interviews. Okay. You have the Excel sheet with the different sheets, multiple sheets. Okay. For each and every multiple sheet, I need to create a table for that one. Okay. If they want for the fresher, this kind of questions will ask. For the experienced people, they will modify a more and they will ask about some of the transformations we want to include. Like we had the two sheets, like employees and departments, right? So the two sheets will let us assume another sheet also name as employees, right? Have the same table structure. Okay. But here we have the first name. In the sheet two, we may have the last name. So the question rises if these IDs are equal, okay, sheet one employee ID equal to sheet two employee ID, then concat their first name and last name. Like this. Like that, they are going to frame the question for the experience kind of the people. Okay. So as I mentioned previously before, we'll upload the part two for the full load, right? So that is going to be uploaded very soon. Okay. So for now, this is sufficient. Okay, what we did, we taken the Excel file, which have the multiple sheets. Okay, we created a configuration file. On top of that configuration file, we use the lookup activity and then for each activity and then copy data activity. So in the next video, we will look into the full load part two. There we are going to discuss the full load concept and also connecting the Databricks with the service principle. Okay. Most of the time in the real world, we will connect the Databricks with Azure, I mean, Gen 2 or Blob with the service principle only. Okay. That's it. That's it from this meeting. Thank you.